feel like we need to bring the belt back to America. We need a real fucking American to represent this fucking organization.
So a fight with Khamzat at some point somewhere in the world over fighting at the White House?
Well, first of all, guys, I'm not leaving this country ever again. I'm an American. I'm not leaving. I'm not traveling. I'm not vacationing. I'm going to die on this fucking soil. So it will be in America. Where the fuck that is, I'll be there. What do you want next, Sean? I don't know, man. Chimaev finally gets off the bench, dude. I'd like a piece of that little Chechen whore. But you never know with him, bro. You never know that guy, but that's what I want. I kind of thought you start going a little wild. And like, no part of you slowing down. But you need to get a little bit more sloppy. But like, no part of this man was slowing down. He was a fucking savage. We'll talk to you just a second, okay? Oh, Simmons not winning. Well, we just won 8 in a row. You stopped in. You're a former champion. What do you want next? Oh, that's a wrap? Anyways. Wait, I got one for Snow. Ain't a rap, dog. Relax. UFC motherfucker. What's up, Snow?
I gotta ask you this. You stopped the guy with the 8-fight win streak. Do you feel like Sean Strickland did enough to get the next title shot in the middleweight division?
Yes, I fucking did. I don't think this thing works. I'll stand up. Yes, Judge, did enough. Listen, you don't want to see any of these motherfuckers fight that little Chechen whore. You want to see the last fucking American in the sport going fuck that guy up. And that's what's gonna happen.
What did Sean Strickland do to beat Khamzat Chimaev in South
Anything
Africa?
I fucking want, dude. Anything I fucking want, dude. I'll bring a fucking goat. He'll get distracted. Anything I fucking want.
All right, hear this out. There wasn't a single ounce of trash talk. No flashy pre-fight drama, no mind games, no outside noise surrounding this matchup. Instead, the atmosphere felt heavy with a raw, almost touchable intensity. Sean Strickland, as everyone knows, had been grinding relentlessly in private, pushing through brutal training sessions while carefully sharpening every detail for what many expected to be a savage, no-holds-barred showdown with Anthony Hernandez. The entire MMA world, from laid-back fans to hardcore analysts, sensed that something meaningful was unfolding, something that could shift careers. Experts were honestly divided on how it would play out. Some believed Strickland's suffocating forward pressure would finally crack Fluffy, while others were certain Hernandez's non-stop grappling assault would drown the former champion. This fight rapidly became more than just another booking on the card. It clearly turned into a defining examination for both fighters.
Sean Strickland!
Strickland, known for his analytical approach, truly examined Anthony Hernandez's resume. He didn't only see dominance, though it was obvious. He noticed something deeper. He saw circumstances behind the wins. In Strickland's blunt view, Hernandez had absolutely built a strong reputation by overwhelming opponents and forcing them into submission again and again. But here's the important part. Not every suffocating performance was exactly as straightforward as it appeared. Strickland believed there were hidden factors beneath the headlines, pieces of the story fans never got to see. Situations like opponents entering the cage carrying undisclosed injuries, disrupted camps caused by unexpected setbacks, or fighters stepping in far from peak physical shape. So when Fluffy dominated someone and shocked the audience with his display, Strickland wasn't stunned at all. He interpreted those victories through his own distinct perspective.
Know that about this guy? Like, when do you know that about a fight?
I mean, that's how he's made his career, just like laying on guys, you know. But it's hard. Like, he fought Roman Dolidze, and I mean, Roman Dolidze did his camp for us. He had his, like, again, talk about injuries. He hurt his back. He didn't even train really at all that fight camp. So, like, you know, Fluffy goes in there and mauls him, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And you're like, me, has been with Roman Dolidze for 10 weeks. I'm like, this guy didn't train at all. Like, he couldn't. His back was. But, you know, Roman had the idea that I'm just going to go in there, I got good jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to armbar somebody, and then lights come on, it doesn't happen. Yeah. So there is, like, it's kind of weird from insight, from knowing guys who fought, like Roman, where you're like, well, I know you felt like a badass, but, like, you should have seen what we've seen for the last 8 weeks. You would have been like.
The punishing idea of battling through exhausting 4th and 5th rounds wasn't some terrifying obstacle he hoped to avoid. In fact, it was the opposite. That drawn-out, high-pressure tempo was the only rhythm he truly understood. It was his safe space, his environment. 5-round wars weren't extraordinary for him, they were routine. But preparing specifically for Anthony Hernandez required something different entirely, and Strickland admitted that openly. He acknowledged that Hernandez's almost unnatural, endless music pace was rare in the sport, something abnormal and nearly impossible to recreate inside a standard gym. So he pushed himself deliberately past normal limits, cycling through fresh sparring partners non-stop, going full intensity until they dropped from fatigue, then immediately starting again with someone new. If the fight drifted into those deep, punishing waters where many athletes break, that was exactly where Sean Strickland preferred to operate. That space was where he felt most comfortable, most energized, most alive. Now, even though Sean Strickland truly believed that the suffering found in those deep, exhausting waters would eventually work in his favor.
The layup.
You still, how do you feel about going into those 4th and 5th rounds knowing that it's going to be miserable? You welcome that, or you just like,
Yeah,
I'll do it, I have to do it?
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, I don't know anything else in 5 rounds. Like, you just train for that, you know? Like, I mean, we did 5 rounds in here. I mean, you've seen 5 rounds in here, and then... Generally, I try to, like Fluffy's a hard guy to train for because there's nobody that really fights like him, you know, that like has that pace. So a lot of my training is like my wrestling rounds are outside of sparring. I'll get guys. But I mean, you see me spar today, you know, you just like go with a guy until I become.
Anthony Hernandez was approaching things with a much broader outlook, focused on a far bigger picture. For Hernandez, this wasn't some rare make-or-break spotlight opportunity that demanded desperation. Instead, he treated it as another calculated, disciplined step forward in his consistent march toward the summit. He didn't categorize fights based on hype levels or social media chatter. Anthony Hernandez evaluated them purely on advancement, on how much nearer each win pushed him toward his ultimate objective. The championship belt remained the clear destination, the guiding star of his path. And whether defeating Strickland moved him straight into title contention or simply meant 1 or 2 more tough names still awaited him, his sharply focused mindset remained unchanged. Hernandez wasn't chasing shortcuts. He was fully prepared to eliminate whoever stood ahead of him, one by one, until his path to gold became undeniable.
Fight of your entire life?
I think that every fight's as big as you make it. And like, you know what I mean? I'm not where I want to be. I still want to be higher, so I'm still chasing dreams and goals. So like, I don't know, I just look at it like another fight. I'm gonna go out there to prove myself again and try to knock on that door for the title.
Yeah, clearly with every step you take this step forward. Does this fight, Anthony, does this take you to the doorstep of a title fight? Obviously something that you have badly wanted for a long time.
Man, I really hope so, but if not, I mean, there's only 2 more people in front of me to take out, you know what I mean? So, like I said, if I got to take every out, then I will. But, I mean, then there's going to be no one to clear out the division. So, I don't know. I just want the belt. I'll clear that out, and then...
That same calm yet aggressively forward mindset, Hernandez addressed Sean Strickland with genuine respect, recognizing him as exactly what he is. A battle-hardened former champion who has repeatedly proven himself against elite opposition and who has flourished under the harshest spotlight imaginable. However, and this part matters, Hernandez refused to be distracted by Strickland's previous accomplishments or intimidated by those notable wins. Why? Because, as he confidently stated, none of those victories were earned against him. In Anthony Hernandez's intensely competitive view, this matchup with Strickland erased the past entirely. It was a clean slate, a fresh beginning, and he was determined to enter that cage and clearly demonstrate that the version of Fluffy standing opposite Sean Strickland that night represented a different, unpredictable, and genuinely more dangerous challenge than anything seen before.
Sean as an opponent, obviously somebody who has won, massive fights, beaten the best of the best. He's been champion. Where do you see him? I mean, is he washed now? Is he still that same dangerous guy? What's this guy?
No, I think he's tough and he's really good. You know what I mean? He's beaten the fuck out of some great people, like you said, but all those people aren't me. So I'm looking to go in there and show what I could do against them.
After all the predictions and detailed breakdowns, Sean Strickland emerged victorious, finishing Anthony Hernandez by TKO in the 3rd round, thereby proving correct those who placed their faith in his unrelenting pressure and veteran experience over Hernandez's promising yet still developing